Good afternoon, everyone. It's Baja Pips. It's Saturday, December 3rd, 2022, 4:48 p.m. I'm in Bangkok, Thailand. And today, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to mark this segment off as Let's Get Technical. So, on Saturdays, I normally take my day off from trading, but I do try to fit in a couple of hours when I have time to actually be able to do some practicing, refinement, backtesting for, and just getting myself better for the week. Because even though it's the weekend and I take time off from trading, and right now I'm poolside, by the pool, relaxing, an enjoyable day, having a nice lunch. But at the same time, I want to get trading because I just want to build my skill. Why wait until Monday when I can do this now? So right now, I don't really know what's happening. So in this segment, all I'm really going to be doing is just marking up the charts and just break it down to y'all simply where I'm going to project price to go. And these are going to be just hypothetical forecasted trades. So if I do make a mistake, I can kind of just see it in advance and get myself ready for Monday. So right now, what we're seeing right now, there's not really much price going on, but we did see price just move on down and break on down. So what I like to do is just identify these lows of 1.013. And I do see that this is a pretty nice, decent moving on trend. So I seen this move in real time. Now my question is, what am I going to do? All right, so now I'm going to start moving the chart forward as I start navigating. And I'll use the forecasting tool just to show y'all my long and short positions. So let's get going. So right now, I'm not taking a trade. I'm just sitting on my hands and waiting. Why am I sitting on my hands and waiting? Because there's really not too much going on. There's just prices popping back up into its own trend. And I don't want to take a trade, so I'm going to sit on my hands. Anything? No. Nope. And see, this is more accelerated because not only am I not waiting every second, but when I press the button, it's by the minute. So I can just get on over with the bar. It's a very advanced tactic, and it's not recommended until you have mastered your skill or at least get into that level. So, I tried doing this a long time ago, and I failed because I didn't know what I was doing. So I was backtesting, but backtesting was, whatever I believed it was. So these days I do real backtesting, and this is one of the examples. Market is currently closed, but hey, this is historical. I randomly moved it to a time during the U.S. session, and I'm just breaking down if I should trade or not. Now, the only downfall is that I don't know if there was news or anything during these times because I don't have it on my chart. So, if I do take a loss, it's basically, I got to redo it. So, or undo it. Okay, so let's get back to it. So what am I doing now? I'm sitting on my hands. I don't see much happening. There was a possibility to go short. I guess like right below here. And, my question is, do I feel comfortable taking that short? Probably not. To me, it's just not good. So I'll just sit on my hands, sit on my hands, sit on my hands. Nothing. So right now I'm waiting for the highs of 1.0526 to be broken. And if those highs are broken, then I may consider going long. But as long as we're below these highs, I'm just going to sit on my hands. So let's continue to mark this up. So it's starting to move back on down. I like what I see, but I don't really know. Do I want to take this short? Well, let's see. I don't really know. It looks like a nice potential opportunity. And, if it breaks down below the lows of 1.0514, it does have a chance to go on lower to 1.05, but I'm going to continue sitting on my hands because I just don't like what I see. And personally, I would like to see the lows of 1.05121 actually broken before I take that trade. So, and consider any type of short. So right now I'm just sitting on my hands, still waiting. Okay, now we see some nice little movement, still waiting. I really don't care what's happening in here. But now we're inside the U.S. lunch session. So for me, this is a big pause because I don't trade U.S. lunch just because movements are very slow. But we do see a nice little breakout, but the breakout failed, and let's see what's going on right now. Do I want to take this long? No. So I'm sitting on my hands because around my line that I drew at 1.0526, price is not doing on much. So I'm going to keep on waiting, keep on waiting. I'm going to let lunchtime pass because, like I said, I don't trade lunch. I have no clue what's going on. So you see, it's just highs and lows, no movement. No, there's no buyers and sellers in these bars. You see, like, I like to see this because this is a lot of volume and this is just nothing. So price is kind of just chopping around. This is what I mean. I just don't like taking these trades. So lunchtime is over. We're in 1 o'clock. Then we have a pickup in volatility and anything. I don't know, 13 o'clock. Here we go. This is a 24-hour clock. 1:30, picking up, starting to make a little movement. Still nothing, you know. It's just dripping on down. So for me, I'm not taking any trades. Understand? So I did see this move just occur, but I'm not participating because you've seen this. Look back here. Where has price really moved? It's just highs and lows within a 20 pip range. Went to the highs of the day, broke back down lower. So I'm not taking a trade yet, but I am very interested at this very moment because I do see something that's potentially good. Now I see, I see things sometimes when I'm taking my trades. So if this could go down lower, I'll consider a trade. But right now it's too soon. So I wouldn't short it right here, but I'm going to wait. I'm just still waiting. I don't like this. So yeah, all this is happening. It's doing nothing again. So now I'm going to start marking this up and start modifying the zones and everything just because price, it's shown me that buyers, I'm definitely not really interested unless it breaks the highs of 1.0520. But at the same time, I'm not confident with sellers right now because they're just too weak. So this to me is nothing. I'm not buying it. Like, I don't care. Just wait. Now we just got a higher end of the range. Like, you see, I'm not interested in anything. Still not interested. I could let it keep on going up. So during this day, we're now 2:45 p.m. U.S. time. Is there anything? No. Let me see. Mark up the highs of the day now. Now we can see price continue dropping, and I may consider looking for some shorts. But right now, I'm not looking for any longs. So I know some people would chase this, but that's not me. Still waiting. We're now into 15 o'clock, so this is 3 p.m. The market's about to close for the day. Do I want to take any trades? This is why I don't like trading U.S. session after lunch because there's no, you can still trade, but like for me, I trade the 1 minute chart, and unless you're like, I already know, like a 30-second chart guy, I wouldn't really recommend trading after that time. Like most of the moves for the day is over, but this is pretty much Friday rounding that up. Still nothing, but there may be some interest. I don't really know, like, I'm still not really interested in any trades. And you can pretty much see how the day goes. So, me, 350, there's about an hour left in the market for the day. So you got to ask yourself, okay, there's about an hour left in the market for the day. Do I want to take any trades yet? Still no. Still nothing, you see. So for me, this is my day. 4:15, and it kind of just drifts off to the end of the week. So this is me back testing, and I didn't get this time to trade on Friday afternoon because I normally don't sit here and trade Friday afternoons anyways. To me, it's just a waste of my time. This stuff happens every week, every Friday to me, and I've been doing this for like the whole year. So no one can really tell me like what I'm doing is wrong because I've seen this every Friday. It's just a matter of you mastering my skill. But I wouldn't have traded any time within this area. I would have actually stood out. Stay on my hands is probably the best thing to do. Now I want to find a random time in the day. That was definitely some news where I can actually find some trades. So, let's go back to, because I did trade London session that day. let's go back to London. That day in general was very choppy. I do remember trading Friday, and I did a recording, but I didn't get any good trades from it. So I actually just didn't upload it. Most days that I don't have any good content to upload, I just won't upload it. So a day like yesterday, I lost minus 1.3 R for the day. I got into a trade. It went against me. It was one of those mistakes I made, trade I shouldn't have been in, and it was the only loss I really took. But then I took another trade. It was winning, and I ended up cutting that short because the market wasn't going anywhere, and it was showing me that in the price action. And because I did cut it short, it prevented further losses. And then at that point, I started realizing that, okay, the markets might just be chopping around for the day. I reached my 2-hour mark, and then I continued trying to trade. So I basically got to like 2.5 hours, and I was just like still kind of stuck, like nothing going on. So then I just said, okay, I'm done for the week. I'll take the minus 1.3 R. I don't want to trade aggressively, and I don't want to trade the US session like this. So Saturdays I come and I'm able to trade the US session hypothetically. I had no clue what was going on just now. I just trade in real time, and to me, that's the most real time I can get. Of course, it's better if it's ticking by the second and I can see it, but at this moment, this is what I'm doing to sharpen my skills. So let's go back to another time, and I want to do one more example, and then I'll finish this video. And then I'll probably just archive this on the channel for those of you that want some help on the weekend, just get this going. So let's see, 2 o'clock, I need to go to London, UTC. So London open Friday. So I have no clue what's going on. Once again, I'm going to bring this chart on up, and I'm just going to continue trading. So we are in the London session Friday, 8 a.m. So I do remember trading this session, but I don't remember my moves based off of looking at this at the moment. So this is going to be cool to be able to trade this and assess my moves that I did take yesterday, and maybe I'll avoid that mistake in this video. So right now, I just want to mark up some highs of the day because, looking at the daily highs and lows is extremely important just to see how much price has really been moving for the day. And this looks like it's been moving about 37 pips, I'll give or take about 33 pips for the day. And to me, that's an average range bound day. The Euro USD, if it's normally, its average true range is 120 pips, I believe. So if it's moving about 30 pips, it's telling me it's moving below average. And to avoid big home run type of trades, and it really helps to know these things. But that's just to get started. So right now, I don't really see much going on. I do see, some uptrend, some sellers coming in, but not really much going on. So all I'm doing is I'm just looking at just basic stuff in my head. I can't even explain on video. It just wouldn't make sense to y'all, but all right. So we're getting a nice little move, and I'm looking at this. I'm not chasing price, but I am looking at this right now, and I'm just like, this could be a nice potential short. We did drop down a lot. I guess if it goes below the lows of 1.0528, I may consider taking a short, but it all depends on how strong the move is. I really don't know yet, so let's see what happens. So this, I'm no longer really interested, but I would like to see the lows of 1.0527 broken, so I'm going to bring my market down there. I don't know what's happening. I don't know. I'm not interested in it anymore. So I do see this is happening, but to me, it seems like a trick. I'm going to wait for the next move. I'm going to just sit on my hands. So nothing's happening. And it's kind of just moving like that, 9:15. This is why I said Friday was just one of those days. I just don't like trading. It's just choppy. But let's see what happens. So there's more movement. This particular move, like I said, I still wasn't interested, but I may be interested now as sellers are picking up. But I'm not taking this short. Now, I believe it was around here that I was making my mistake. But I'm gonna see. Price is breaking on out to the upside, but there's still I'm not interested in short. I'm not interested in longing, nothing. So we see the next several minutes go on. Of course, nothing's going on. Breaking on, nowhere, doing nothing. So I'm not interested in the long at all. I'm not interested in nothing. Just let price do its thing, Now this is all just moving around. It's showing some nice moves, but it's not doing much. So to me, this is just bluffing around. So we're gonna mark this off. And to me, I'm not doing anything. I can't, I don't have a setup, but I'm very interested in what's going on right now. So I want to see price continue on making these like nice little moves. Am I gonna get in soon? Not yet. I don't really know yet. I don't really know. Am I gonna get long on this red bar? Probably not, because why would I do that? But at the same time, I'm not going short. I'm just not interested in anything. Now, this is nice, but still nothing, still nothing. This move is really nice, but I would like to see, price is doing all this movement. I want to see what's happening. I want to see the lows broken, 1.05. If those lows aren't broken, it's suspect to me. I don't want to take the trade. So I'm still not taking a trade. I'm sitting on my hands. It's 10 o'clock. Still nothing. Sitting on my hands, still nothing. It's just like I'm suspect. Why is price not moving below my lows? My lows, these are my lows that I created, and these are my lows that I want to be able to trade with. And so it's not breaking my lows. And like I said, I don't get swayed around by the market. I trade my own market. So I make my own zones within the market. Like, this is why teaching this is extremely hard, because it's a dynamic flow. It's real time. I actually have time to be able to break this down right now. Normally, it's 5 o'clock. I have to make moves, but hey, today I'm just doing this and upload it. I believe my website's down right now, but I plan on updating a brand new site, getting some new content on there, and yeah, everything's free, by the way, so don't worry about it. But right now, I'm not really interested in any moves. Just still nothing, still nothing, still nothing. It's just one of those days. 10:15 London time, nothing. I'm getting a little tired of trading. I understand, like, this is one of those days where I traded from 8 a.m. to 10, and I got 0 moves. Make sense? So now we're getting into the time when I was actually trading, because closer to London lunch, it picks up in volatility. So normally I trade like about 8:30 a.m. London until like London lunch, and then I'm pretty much over. So now we're picking up, okay? It's all right. It's okay. This particular day I did trade a little late, and I'm still waiting. I don't like these moves. So to me, I'm sitting on my hands, and there's nothing yet, but I'm seeing some potential. So I see this little move on up right here, 1.0522. I'm considering a sell because I see a lot of sellers stepping in. I see a nice little drop, like, it's pretty nice, but I might be able to get a nice little move to the downside. That's all I'm thinking. Understand? But I would like to see price move on up more. So I wouldn't like to take a short yet. So right here, I'm considering a sell. Why? For one, it's proven to me, price, to me, price moves significantly lower from this. It looks like it has some nice, strong potential. And to me, it's a matter of, will I take this trade or not? 1.052, give or take. It breaks down these lows, 1.0521. I'll take the sell. So without further ado, y'all might see me take a potential move. Does not break those lows. I'm not taking the sell. So once again, you got a question. So I have 1 minute to think. This is why the minute chart is so tough for many. Every bar, I literally have 1 minute to think. In this back test, I'm not even giving myself a minute. I'm just telling y'all, like, yes, no, maybe. But in real time, all of this is slower. So what I'm showing y'all is an accelerated version of my trading, but to slow it down, it's slower. And because it's slower, it can be harder because you have to learn patience and sitting on your hands. So next week, when you do watch my videos, you'll be able to see me actually, when I break down, I'm sitting on my hands. Well, there's nothing to do. So why would I trade in an environment where there's nothing to do and I would have the higher risk of losing my money? So right now, it's giving me that kind of that, like, there's nothing to do. So I'm going to just sit on my hands. I want to see the lows of 1.051 broken before I take a sell. So that's not going to happen. So you see all this, nothing. You understand? This is just what it is the entire day. So you got to ask yourself, what are you getting in a 8-pip range? I don't want 8 pips, especially if my stop losses are like 5 pips because the broker has 1.1 pip spread. I know my moves to the exact pip, but I have to account for my broker, which is why I always give myself some space. People don't understand that, but like right here, I'm not interested. So this is the day, 11 o'clock, we're getting into lunch now. So we have a potential run to the upside. I ask myself, am I interested? No, I'm not interested in any of these moves. So what am I doing? Y'all can already know, sitting on my hands. So you can see the importance of risk management and also patience, because during this day, I found no moves that I was able to take. It just looked like trash. And, I did take a move that was accidental during this time. I'm not too sure. I think it was during this hour coming up, but let's see. We're going on down. This is nice. I don't know. Maybe this was news. But I'm not interested in the trade yet. Matter of fact, I'm not interested in a long at all. I'm definitely not interested in a long. So I'm going to mark this a high on up right here. And it's doing something very interesting right now because it's getting into lunchtime and it looks like something could happen, but at the same time, nothing happened. So for me, I literally got into lunchtime, US or London, and I don't trade London lunch. So let's see what happens after London lunch. 12 o'clock, 12:30, you see nothing, 12:45. All right. So we're getting out of London lunch and I'm still waiting. 1 o'clock, nothing. All right. 1:15, we might see a little build up. I'm gonna mark off the highs of the day. I always like dynamically moving, shifting between highs and lows of the day. Once again, it's a skill. I make it look easy, but it's definitely something you gotta understand. You gotta know price action before doing that. But if you don't know, just keep one dynamic one and just, trade the way you know. But right now, we got some new daily highs. I'm still waiting, and I don't see anything. I'm not interested in this. Nice. So that's the news candle. So right after the news, what do we get? 1:30 p.m. lunchtime. So this is nice. It's volatility pumping into the markets, and I believe I was trading around here. So now we go see what happens. I'm not interested in anything in this area, but I may consider going long or short. So this move happens. I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to just start making moves towards the downside if I could see a nice potential. So I see this high right here, 1.04536. So you got 1.0453 and you got 1.0448. To me, it's just too big of a bar to take a sell, or long. I just don't want to do it, so I just skip. Still waiting, don't know what's happening. Still waiting, don't know what's happening. Just not taking any trades. Nope, not interested. This is very weird. I don't like chasing price, so I'm gonna let that one go as well. I mean, hey, if it continues going on up, I'll wait. So we got something nice potential, and I'm just considering this. Like, it's been moving up pretty fairly, pretty strong trade. And I'm just like, okay, at this very point, do I want to take this trade? That's the question I'm asking. And to me, I don't know. Probably not, because price done moved too damn far down. So I'm not taking no trade. So I do see something happening, and I just don't know. I'm just watching. Do I want to take a trade soon? That's my question. No. So you see this just happening back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I'm asking myself, do I want to take a trade? No. 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 So what are we doing? Nothing. Sitting on our hands. So I'm just looking back and forth throughout the entirety of this, and I'm just like, nice. I like what I'm seeing. I don't like what I'm seeing, and it's at the end of the day, it's my decision on what I want to do. And I'm just like, I don't want any of this. Nothing is appealing. We're now 2:30 p.m. London time. I'm gonna end this video shortly because I know it's gonna get a little lengthy, but I was actually searching for trades this whole entire time, and I found absolutely nothing. Like, this is like the day. And sometimes this can happen. This is Friday. Sometimes days like this can happen, and me as a scalper, I can close up for the week and be like, okay, I put my couple hours in, and I didn't see much happening. And this is one of those days where I wouldn't have took any of these trades. All this looks nice. Like, this actually looked like a nice potential setup. Like I said, you just move back real quick. Ask what I consider selling anywhere. I'm still looking. I'm just like, I don't know. It's very weird. And I'll just wait because it's just, to me, I'm looking. Okay? And this is the very first time of the day that I might get set up. So we can break the lows of 1.0470. I'm going to go short in the next few minutes. If it don't break these lows, then I'm going to set my hands off on the hands. It does not. So I'm going to still sit on my hands. It's very tough, Should I take a sell? Very good question. I asked myself this question. And I'm just like, is that smart? And I have 1 minute to think. And for me, the only thing I'm really thinking, right, is like, I probably think I should sit aside because I don't really know. And it doesn't look good to me. So I sit aside. Then you see something else and you're like, no, it's a good thing I sat on my hands today. I saved money. I still don't see anything. So all this mess, for what reason? Nothing. Like, it's just no reason to be trading today. But I see potentials all the time. Like, an example is like, I'm looking at bars all the time. I'm looking at price action all the time. And, I'm just like, if it breaks these highs right here, there's a potential I can go long. But I just don't know, There's a good potential, and it doesn't, And you see, every time I say something and it doesn't happen, something else happens. But I save money because this is trading. I'm going to wrap this up soon because I don't see anything, and it's 3 p.m. London time, and I think this is conflicting with the U.S. session. So let's see, New York, 10 a.m. Ironic, right? So I traded in London, New York overlap, and I basically traded that all the way through into this. I still have no moves. I can't trade, y'all. Like think about how frustrating this would be. Sitting here for hours. After my 2 hours, like I discussed in the beginning of the video, trying to find good trades. It's just not really that great. Like, there was a nice little potential move on up, but like I didn't like that. But like, there's always potential moves, to me. hypothetically speaking, I don't want no trades around here. Still nothing, y'all. Like, this is why, you know, if I can see this, this has potential. Okay. But I don't like this trade. I wouldn't sell this. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm sitting on my hands, and if I don't see anything, I won't trade it. And it's another one of those, like, do you want to trade that? Probably not. You know, it's just like sit your butt on your hands and wait to see what's going on. And this is like repeat all day long. Like, I know, and this is the same trade now that I just looked at earlier. Like, this is just trash today. Like, would I consider going long any of these moves? Probably not, because it looks like I'd be chasing price, and you know, it doesn't really seem viable. So sit on my hands. You know, this is the entirety of the day. Just doing it back and forth. This is Friday, so hopefully I can get a nice video of me actually taking trades. You know, because this is one of those days I won $0 and I lost $0, but I was able to back test and forward test and just show y'all, like, okay, my practice is over. I put my hour in this entire recording. This is my Saturday, and I'm prepared for next week. You know, you get some nice potential moves, but like realistically, this has to be news right here. Like I said, it's 11:30 U.S. time. You know, there's nothing you can really take. And some days the market will give you traps, like, and Friday is one of those days where it's like traps you. Like, you want to take trades, but there's nothing to take. And then if you take something, you might get trapped. So that's why they call Fridays trap days. And I know there was non-farm. I think maybe that was non-farm or something. But you know, even this, like I said, I don't know the news, and I could have traded through the news, and I avoided it because it didn't even give me any proper move. So this is Friday. This is the end of the week, and now I'm caught up. I've trained. I'm ready for next week. Now, who can do this? The scalpers. So when it's time for me to get started on the week, I'm ready to eat, and then I'm just patiently waiting for the rest of the market to kind of set up, you know. Take a lot of trades, do what I got to do, practice or train hard, take hundreds, if not thousands of trades, and y'all can kind of see this is just all my scalping practice. A lot of orders, a lot of good orders, a lot of bad orders, a lot of trial and error. But this is all my videos kind of put in one, so y'all can kind of see kind of like the summary of my price action trading and really understand how I get down with this. So, you know, I trade November, October. See all this is trades, you know. I traded all my videos I recorded. I traded. This was a new account, so I started in September, and I've been trading for the past few months. All the videos that was documented, and now I'm at this point. I just traded in front of you guys. I didn't take any orders because there was no trades, and at the same time, I broke even on that day where there's no trades. It takes skill to break even. Now, if I look at the 4-hour chart, just to wrap it up, it's just a little bonus. Yeah, if I was swing trading, I don't have the patience to just wait. But for me, it looks like a very bullish move on the 4-hour time frame. And so I would consider going longs if the highs of 1.0569 is broken on the Euro US dollar. For those of you watching this on time, this might be a nice bullish run to the upside because we do look like there's a lot of strong buyers. But at the same time, I just want to see what happens at that high, because from recent price action, it looks like that uptrend ended. So, you know, it ended probably like back on Thursday. So because that uptrend ended on Thursday, you have to be cautious. Just be very wary that that uptrend did end on Thursday. And buyers could get exhausted at these highs, so don't go all in at 1.060. But if it does go above 1.0600 and it looks very strong, I would consider buying at that point. But if it's just going weak above these highs, I would not consider going long, and just continue sitting on your hands right now. This is a very tough time for the Euro US dollar. As y'all can see, it's pretty much been range bound since November 22nd. Nothing has been happening, and we did just come from a recent rally of over 100 pips. So give it some time. Every time there's like a lot of big movement, it tends to kind of move around. This is why it's important to learn how to trade ranges. I do like to trade trends, and I do like to get in on trends, but for the most times when I look at my technicals, I try to master my range trading, because as you could see, the market range is about 75% of the time. So like, you might get uptrends and downtrends, but most of the time you're gonna get these little sideways movements, and to me, it's not tradable. So you can't really find like anything, like anyone's patterns or strategy or technical analysis that they try to put inside of this. It's hard. Like if you were a breakout trader, you want to trade breakouts only. What breakout are you getting if you sell it right here? And where's your stop loss? You have to have a large stop loss, and your risk to reward to get a 1-to-1, your profit's down here. So I want to give you all an example before I go. So in order to take a short, say you want to take a sell there, like you have stop loss has to be all the way up here. That's large. It's 163 pips. So your profit target, just to get a 1-to-1 reward to risk. So I see people on Instagram all the time. They're going for home runs. For one, you're not making money. For two, you're sitting sideways. For how long? To the 22nd, September 22nd. You see that 1 month, because of 4-hour chart, and you were swing trading, supposedly the 4-hour chart, you wanted to short that, and for 1 month you're caught up in the sideways movements, and you get impatient and you develop these bad habits. That's just like, okay, maybe you want to get short here, and so because you made one bad trade and you're sitting there for like 3 weeks, you want to take another order, so you take another short. What happens here is, if your stop loss is, and you want to reduce your stop to above here, look at what happened. Your entire trade just lost, because you have a bad habit, because you see that there's a way to reduce your stop. You try to take a short. I would put my stop loss above there, and look what happens. That's a whipsaw. So many people are angry that day because they knew stop losses are there. This is what market makers know. So if there's people like me that can trade the minute chart, and I can see stops by the minute, there's people that hunt and prey on your stops. And if you take the wrong type of trade, and the wrong entry, and your stop loss is right around somewhere where it can get hit, unfortunately it can get hit. And to say, if you did want that trade from there to there, your stop loss will get hit, and then it will go to your target, potentially. You see what I mean? But that original target, it never got hit. And so you would wait basically Friday, August, September. Why is this? Oh, this is not a week. I apologize. So you be not sitting in that trade for a week, but this range has been pretty much going on the 23rd all the way to the 8th. So pretty much like a week. So that's still a solid amount of time. And because of that, I would have sat on my hands. I wouldn't have done anything in particular. And I would have traded in my own ways. But this is not a good environment to trade in. And I wouldn't recommend swing trading in this environment. I wouldn't recommend doing any of that in this environment. As a scalper now, I can have fun, because for me, this is a big range. This is 903, 1076. Like, this is almost 200 pips. I can be trading for this entire 7 days, and I can have a normal day every day. But for someone that is actually looking at the larger time frames, you can't do that. So you would be able to get these massive moves. Maybe you took a trade like this, for example. Let's give an example. You want to take a long all the way up some highs, and, you want to connect it. Let's see how long this would have took. Maybe you took a long on Thursday on the 8th, and you close it on Monday on the 12th. So this was an over weekend trade. Your risk to reward was pretty solid. You had a 2-to-1 and you got out. So you see, this was a good trade. Beautiful trade. But how would you know to get in on this? Well, you need to know your setups for one, and for two, you need to know price action. And for me, I saw that buyers were exhausted, so there's no buying up here. But I did see sellers were coming into some lows. They failed to continue on down to monthly lows, and then they just continued on up. So I got into the long where I, hypothetically would have went long, and this would have been a real trade if I was trading on this time frame during this time. So I hope this presentation was well. You can kind of see how things are done. This rewarded risk is also a 2-to-1. This trade, if I was risking 750, I would have made 15, 17 on it in over the weekend. So this would have doubled up on that trade, and it would have just been another trade. This would have been a 1.88% gain, and I would have been risking less than 1% for almost 2% on that trade. Swing trading, though, I like to scale in. So personally, I would have scaled in right here. Just gonna show a little advanced tactic, and then I'm just gonna shut up. But I would have scaled in on this bar right here. So as this 4-hour bar was going up, I would have probably been on the minute chart, entering orders on the way, and I would have been out. So let's just say I added another trade here, and I risked 2-to-1. So I reduced my stop loss, and possibly just continue with the same profit target. Well, this would have been a 1.34 rewarded risk trade, and I would have gained another 1344 on that trade. So 1344 plus 1527 is about 18. It's almost 1900. I'm not gonna do the exact amounts in my head because I'm not a human calculator, but this is how I trade. So that's about 2,900. I'm sorry, $2,900. You risk 750. You took another trade, made your overall risk probably like less because you're now kind of like in the money on this trade, and then you enter in the money on this trade, and it hits your target. So basically, you risk 750 overall to make 2,900. What is that? That's an easy 4-to-1. So you hit a nice double. Take that home. Post that on Instagram. I risked $750 and I made nearly $3,000. That's great. So now y'all kind of see how things are done. Kind of gonna get ready for my weekend and next week, and gonna follow up with some live trading and post this on the YouTube. I'm out.